This is your happy host, Modesty, and on behalf of the Talk That Talk Weekly podcast, sponsored by the Celebrity Spotlight Live Talk Show, I would like to say, welcome one and all. I'll be right back in a moment. Well, it's another week, and thank you so much for joining me for the Talk That Talk weekly podcast. To our listeners, I appreciate you, and I want to say thanks for listening, and I value your time. Inspiring, motivating, informing, and networking is what I do, and I love absolutely every single moment of it. The quote of the week, which we do every week, says, there are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. A dream doesn't become reality through magic, but it takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Now, this quote is credited to Colin Powell, former statesman, a retired four-star general, the first African American to serve as the Secretary of State, and he's also the first African American to be a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff for the United States government. Many of us have been told from early childhood that nothing in life comes easy and nothing in life is free. Pardon. We have dreams, we have goals, purposes, and missions in life that we want to achieve and fulfill. But there are requirements, and magic is not a part of the equation at all. But work, patience, diligence, determination, commitment, and this is very significant as well, sacrifice. All of the above are factors when it comes to being successful in life. So whatever your goals, your dreams, your passion, and your purpose or mission is in life, go forth and do it. Go get it. Because the ability and the power to do so lies within you. I would like to celebrate men, women, children, and teens who've decided to venture into entrepreneurship. And if anyone listening has started a new job, a career, or has received a promotion recently, I want to say congratulations to all of you. And I wish you nothing but the best, and may you succeed in all that you put your minds and your hands to. Pardon? If you're purchasing a new home, that's a wonderful thing. A new condo or co-op or townhouse, a property, a new car, real estate, or you're relocating to another state or a country, I want to say congratulations to you as well. From the Talk That Talk weekly podcast, may you have a seamless and a smooth transition and enjoy your new surroundings and your new environment to the fullest, and enjoy your new drive as well. Now that's amazing. Okay, I'm going to be sharing some amazing things during this segment. Today's segment is touching, it's heartwarming, and it's absolutely darling. Because a joyous 8-year-old little girl named Miracle Robinson, I love the name, who lives on the East Coast, recently launched her very own clothing and accessories business at the age of 8. Miracle came up with the idea to start a business at the age of 6, so she's been in business for 2 years already. It was the result of her seeing the homelessness and those who were hungry in her local area, so she decided at such a young age that she wanted to do something about it. She created a line of bags, clothing, and hair accessories, and decided that the profits would be utilized to help the homeless and to feed those who were in need of food. Now, along with having fun this summer, She already has her work cut out for her. Miracle Robinson has decided to dedicate part of her summer to feeding the homeless and the hungry on the weekends when many charitable organizations are closed because they operate during the weekdays. She's excited, and along with the help of her mom and others, she's going to have a great summer because helping others in need is a blessing indeed. So, on behalf of the Talk That Talk Weekly podcast, I say bravo to 8-year-old kidpreneur Miracle Robinson. I wish her all the best. What a sweetheart. For those of you who are looking for events and venues you can go to this summer, because the summer is upon us. If you want to have fun, if you want to learn, if you want to take pics, and or if you want to create some summer memories and post them to your social media pages, as many of us do, I've got something just for you. Pardon me. I discovered a website that I wasn't looking for, but accidentally found, and it was quite informative, and it blew me away actually because I never knew it existed. The website I'm referring to is www.clubfreetime.com. Oh, excuse me, these allergies or something else. Although the word club is in the website address, the events are not club related. Once you visit this site, you'll be able to see all kinds of events that will keep you occupied and entertained throughout the summer. You will find detailed information for city and sightseeing tours, workshops, fairs, talks, galleries you can go to, movies, readings, and so much more. And what I like most about this event on the site is that the majority of the events are free. Okay, Free. That is a universal word, and it's probably one of the most beloved and popular words in the dictionary. Free. There are also events you'll find that require a fee or a ticket purchase. Complimentary and discount tickets, they're also offered on the site for shows and concerts, and you can take it a step further and become a member of Club Free Time. That will entitle you to discounts on shows and events as well where a purchase is necessary. So again, when you get an opportune moment, go to the site www.clubfreetime.com and see for yourself what it offers. Pardon me again, and hopefully you'll find something or a few things even that will meet your interest there. I'm going to commence with part 2 of Did You Know? I started part 1 for last week's podcast. Okay, I revealed on last week and discussed interesting facts that you may or may not know about everyday things that we use, that we see, or have become dependent upon in life. Did you know that in 1981, a resolution was passed by the United States House of Representatives to set aside the 4th Sunday of October every year as Mother-in-Law's Day? I repeat, 1981. In 1981, a resolution was passed by the United States House of Representatives to set aside the 4th Sunday of October every year as Mother-in-Law's Day. Now, not every spouse get along with their mother-in-law or their in-laws, but there are some who do so. And for those of you who cherish and honor your mother-in-law, that is the official day to do it on. You can do it throughout the year as well, but that's the official day to do it on. It is referred to now as National Mother-in-Law Day, and the idea was to mimic that of Mother's Day, not to take away from it. But in my research and readings, it was revealed that due to divorces and separations, marital challenges, struggles and troubles, Mother-in-law's Day, rather, is not as popular or celebrated as much as Mother's Day. Whenever any of the aforementioned takes place, sometimes there is a total communication breakdown within family relationships. But things do get better, and sometimes they may not. It really depends upon how strong, I would say, the bond is with the spouse and the mother-in-law. Nevertheless, there are probably a number of mother-in-laws who are cherished, honored, and loved on the National Day of Recognition for them, as well as other times during the year. Pardon me one more time. Secondly, did you know that in 1978, President Jimmy Carter legally designated the second Sunday in September as National Grandparents' Day? I think that's awesome. And the idea was the brainchild of a resident from West Virginia, and her name was Mrs. Marion Lucille Herndon McQuaid. And her husband, Joseph L. McQuaid, was her support system every step of the way. The purpose of Grandparents' Day was to honor grandparents, and honor grandparents and give them an opportunity to show love for their children's children, their grandchildren, and to help children become aware of the wisdom, the counsel, the information, and guidance that their elders can give them in order for them to have a good life. Another U.S. citizen, in addition, Michael Goldfarb of Atlanta, Georgia, had during that time as well, he had the same thing in mind, but his purpose for doing so was slightly different. Mr. Goldgar, while visiting one of his relatives in a nursing home in Georgia where he lived, started talking to some of the residents there, and he found out that many of them were grandparents, and they didn't want to burden their children or family from their perspective. So the nursing home was their home, and no doubt many of them probably weren't being visited by their families and seemingly had been left all alone. So Mr. Goldfarb, out of the kindness of his own heart, was impacted by what he was told, and he decided that grandparents needed to be shown appreciation. And he put his money where his mouth was by spending thousands of his own dollars traveling back and forth to Washington, D.C. in order for Grandparents' Day to become nationally recognized. And after many years, it finally became a reality. Mrs. McQuaid had been advocating for the same in the 60s prior to Mr. Goldfarb's contributions. And due to both of their efforts, today, grandparents all over the United States are celebrated and appreciated by their grandchildren, their family, and friends. So if your grandparents are still alive, do your best and the most for them, not only on the second Sunday in September, but as often as you have the ability to do so, because it's a blessing to have your parents and your grandparents, and if your great-grandparents are living, that's even more of a blessing as well. Last week, I touched briefly on the topic of There's a Book Inside of Me, How to Slay Your First Book. So that's what we're going to continue talking about briefly today. Based upon the genres that I mentioned in last week's podcast, you are in the driver's seat as the author. You determine what it is you want to show, you want to share, and reveal and inform to the world about in your book. Again, it's not impossible to become an author. Start by setting time aside, either during the week or on the weekends. If it's nothing more than 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, and if push comes to shove, take 30 minutes, okay? And you can use that time to talk to yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. We do it all the time. Use that time to talk to yourself with a pen and paper or pencil in hand, or computerize your thoughts by typing and saving them so that you will have easy access to them. That's what I did when I was in the process of writing my book. Everything was computerized. I typed everything and then saved it. Secondly, don't become discouraged if you find yourself erasing or retyping lines or paragraphs several times. It's a process, and it takes time to develop the flow or current of the book and how the chapters are presented to your satisfaction and liking. And especially if you're doing it for the first time, you might find yourself rewriting and erasing and retyping over and over again. But don't get discouraged. No matter how many times you have to do it until you get it to where you want it to be. Do it until you're satisfied. Okay, do it until you have the product that you want to present to the world as it relates to your story and what it is you've written your book for. And it's time for me to say, see ya. It's time for me to wrap up. I'm so glad we had this time together. Thank you again for listening. Thank you so much for joining me. As I do every week, if you would like to inquire about obtaining me as a host or a keynote speaker for a brunch, a luncheon, a women's enrichment, a women's empowerment session, or a women's panel, feel free to call 646-515-4375 or email me at celebrityspotlightlive@gmail.com. I also conduct 15 and 30-minute promotional interviews for new business professionals, entrepreneurs, entertainment professionals, authors, and ministers on another platform. And for details about that, you can visit CSLTalkshow.com. I welcome your feedback. Feel free to share your comments or remarks about the podcast by emailing me at celebrityspotlightlive@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you again for joining me. Your joy matters. Your peace matters. Your happiness matters. So be blessed, be safe, and be happy. Have an awesome week, everyone.